Okay, ready to dive into this whole like building a fan base thing?
Let's do it.
We're talking about this article that's
Yeah.
basically like a crash course for musicians
Oh, wait.
to go from like, zero to hero,
Tools.
fan base wise,
Yeah.
without
Really
the
great.
help of like a mega label.
Exactly.
Right,
Which is
that's
huge.
pretty cool.
It is huge. I mean, that is like the dream, right?
It is a dream.
But it's not the only way anymore.
No, and that's what's so cool about this.
Exactly.
It's like it really emphasizes the power that individual artists have now.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm excited to unpack it.
Me too. So what's the first thing we're diving into?
Okay, so
Yeah.
what's fascinating about this article is that it emphasizes authenticity so much.
Yes.
And it really emphasizes it right off the bat.
Right away.
Because the first thing it talks about is branding.
Okay.
And I know when people hear branding, they think...
Like big corporations.
Yeah, like logos.
And like colors.
Right, like are you Coca-Cola or Pepsi?
Exactly. But it goes way deeper for musicians.
Way deeper.
It's really about like...
It's like, what's your story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what's the story you're trying to tell with your music?
Yeah.
What are the emotions you want people to feel
100%.
when they listen to it?
It's about connecting on a deeper level, right? Like,
yes.
I feel like people connect with stories.
It's all about the story.
You know?
It's true.
If you can tell your story through your music...
Yes.
And it's authentic...
Yes.
I think that's what people are really looking for.
And it's not about, like, making up some fake persona.
No.
It's about, like, looking inward
You
and figuring out, like, what is true to you?
Absolutely.
What is the story you want to tell through your music?
Yeah, and, like, what makes you you as an artist.
Yes. And they even give a tip in the article, which I love.
Like that.
They suggest writing your artist story.
Interesting.
Like, actually sit down and write it out. Yeah.
Because they say putting it into words can really help you...
Clarify it.
Solidify it. Yeah.
I love that.
It's like giving yourself that clarity.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've poured your heart out. You've defined your brand.
Yeah.
What's next?
You've got to get the word out.
Okay, how do we do that?
And that's where step 2 comes in. Leveraging social media.
Social media.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I know. It can feel overwhelming.
Go.
But this article gives really good advice for that, too.
Okay, good.
They emphasize focusing your energy.
Don't try to be everywhere at once.
Exactly.
Okay.
They actually call out Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter.
The big 3.
As like prime real estate for musicians.
Makes sense.
But even within that, they're like, don't spread yourself too thin.
Right.
Focus on 1 or 2 that you think your audience would be on.
Where are your people?
Exactly.
Find them.
But what I thought was really interesting...
is they stressed authenticity again?
Oh, interesting.
When it comes to social media.
Okay, so it's not just about like being polished and perfect.
Exactly. Because I think a lot of people...
I think a lot of people feel that pressure.
Social media has to be like
this curated highlight reel.
Yes.
Which can be exhausting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they're saying, no, you need to be authentic.
You have to be real.
Like people can spot a fake from a mile away.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Yeah. Especially these days.
And they're not going to...
People want real.
Connect with you.
Yes.
If you're putting on some kind of like persona.
Totally.
That's not really you.
So what does that actually look like being authentic on social media as a musician?
They give some good examples, like sharing behind the scenes content, like snippets of your creative process.
Oh, cool.
Maybe like a raw acoustic version of a song you're working on.
Oh, I love that.
That you just like, record it on your phone.
I love that idea.
Just like a glimpse into your personality.
It was about being relatable.
Yes.
Okay.
And showing people like who you are.
Yeah.
Off the stage.
Behind the music.
Yes.
Cool.
And not just like the polished final product.
Yeah. I like that.
And another thing they emphasized with the social media was engagement.
Engagement, okay.
Like actually responding to comments.
Important.
Doing Q&As with your followers.
It's true.
Because it shows that you're actually present.
Yes. You're not just like throwing content into the void.
Exactly. You're actually there.
And hoping it sticks.
You're listening. You're engaging.
Yeah.
You're building a community.
Which I think is huge.
It is huge.
Yeah.
Because people want to feel like...
people want to feel seen and heard.
They're a part of something.
Exactly.
So if you're just like...
especially online.
ignoring them.
Right. Like, why should they?
Yeah.
Why should they care?
Yeah, they're not going to.
You've got to cultivate that.
You do.
That community.
Okay, so you've nailed the branding.
Okay.
You're a social media.
You're killing it.
What's next?
What about the actual music?
Right. Because at the end of the day,
yes,
you're a musician.
It's about the music.
It's about the music.
So step 3.
All right.
release music
regularly
to build momentum.
Keep it coming.
Yes. Keep that momentum going.
Because I feel like this is where understanding like the algorithm is so crucial.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, because it's like, think about it from, let's say, Spotify's perspective, right?
Okay.
Or Apple Music, any of those streaming platforms, they want to keep people listening.
Right.
Right. So if you're putting out music consistently, it signals to them that you're
active.
An active artist.
Yes.
And you're somebody that they should be promoting.
Yeah, promoting, putting in front of other people.
Interesting.
Whereas if you put out music like
once a year,
they're like, are they even, like, what are they doing?
But are they still making music?
Yeah. Like, we haven't heard from them. Who knows?
So it really is about, like you said, staying on people's radar.
It's so true.
In this world of content overload.
Yes. It's very saturated out there.
There's so much.
So much music.
Music out there. It's crazy.
It can be really hard to
break through the noise.
Yes. And even if you have great music, if you're not releasing it consistently, it's going to get lost.
It's going to get buried.
Buried in the algorithm.
Exactly.
So this is huge.
It's important.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that maybe a lot of musicians don't think about.
Right. They're so focused on
the art
of it.
Yeah.
Which is important.
Which, of course, is important. Yeah.
But they're not thinking of
the business side.
The strategy behind it.
Yes.
Interesting.
I think so.
So you're putting out all this music. You're staying on top of it.
Yeah.
You're engaging.
Yes.
What else? So you're putting out all this music. You're staying on top of it.
Yeah.
You're engaging. What else?
Right. It can't just be about like releasing it into the void.
Exactly.
Hoping people find it.
You need people to actually hear it.
Yes.
Right.
So how do people discover music these days?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's algorithms, which we just talked about.
Right.
But there's something else.
Tell me more.
Playlists?
Yes.
Playlists are huge.
They're like the new radio.
They really are.
Right. Like, think about it.
Think about how you discover new music.
Yeah. Do you listen to the radio anymore?
No, and I don't think I'm alone in that.
Me neither.
I'm on Spotify.
You find a playlist
that
you like.
Yes.
You trust the curator.
And you just hit play.
100%.
And you see what happens.
Like a surprise.
It is a surprise.
Every time.
And that's such a cool way to be introduced to artists you might have never heard of otherwise.
Totally. Like, I feel like some of my favorite artists I've discovered through playlists.
Me too.
It's like you're just listening.
Yeah.
And then something comes on, you're like,
what is this?
Yeah.
And you look it up and you're like.
And then you go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, yes. That's what's so fun about it.
You're like, oh my God, this is my new favorite artist.
Yes. Obsessed.
The playlists are huge.
Huge.
So how can artists actually get on playlists?
Right.
Because that feels very mysterious.
It does.
To a lot of people.
It's like, how do I get on these playlists?
Yes. How do I get curated?
Especially the big ones. You know,
especially the big ones.
Like the Spotify editorial playlists.
Yes.
Millions of followers.
It's winning the lottery.
It is. If you get on one of those.
Life-changing.
It really is.
Potentially.
Life-changing, yes.
So the article talks about that a little bit.
Okay.
They say, don't be afraid to submit your music.
Okay.
To playlists.
Yeah.
Even the big ones.
Shoot your shot. Right.
You never know.
You never know.
But they also say, don't overlook the smaller playlists.
The niche playlists.
Yes.
I like those.
Because those can be incredibly valuable too.
Yeah, because if you think about it.
Yeah.
They're so targeted.
Yes.
Right?
It's a very specific.
Like if you can find the playlists. Where your music fits. Perfectly.
It's like you found your people.
You found your people. Exactly.
And even if it's not a playlist with 1 million followers, if it's a playlist with like 1,000 really dedicated listeners.
Who are really going to vibe with your sound.
Who are your exact target audience.
That's better.
That's more valuable. Way more valuable
than
1 million people.
Who are never going to listen to your music again.
100%.
So that's great advice.
I like that.
And then they also give another really good piece of advice.
Okay, what's that?
They're like, create your own playlists.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I love that.
I've never thought about that.
It's so smart.
That's really cool.
Because then it's like.
So it's like you're a curator.
Yes.
Cool.
You become the tastemaker.
Yes.
And it's a way for people to.
Discover new music, but also be like.
Discover you.
This artist has great taste. I like their music.
Yes. And it's like
a peek into your influences too.
Yes.
You know?
It's like, oh.
What are they listening to?
What are they listening to? That's so cool.
Yeah, I like that.
So, okay.
Okay, so we've got branding.
Yes.
Social media. We're releasing music.
Regularly. Getting on those playlists.
The playlists. Yes.
Yes.
What about the live shows?
Live shows. Yeah. Because
Step 5.
Okay.
Perform live to build a fan base.
Okay, so is there anything better than seeing an artist live?
There's nothing like it.
Like the energy.
It's a completely different,
palpable
experience.
Yes.
Than just listening to the recorded music.
100%. Like you feel it in your chest.
You feel it.
Yeah.
You feel so connected.
You feel connected to the artist.
To the artist, to the other people in the room.
Music.
Yes.
To everything. It's amazing.
It's such a powerful way to experience music.
Yeah.
And it's such a powerful way for artists to connect with fans.
Totally. Because it takes it offline.
Yes.
You know?
You're not just...
It's like, this is a real person making this music.
This is what my music sounds like.
It's not just like a voice on a screen.
Yes, and this is what I look like.
Yes. This is my energy.
This is my vibe.
Yes. It's bringing everything together.
100%.
So this is so important. So important.
For musicians.
That it doesn't have to be like a huge arena tour.
Right, and they even talk about that in the article. It's like, start small.
Start small.
Play those local venues.
Yes.
Connect with...
Support your local music venues.
Build that community.
Yeah.
From the ground up.
Oh, I love that.
And they even talk about how now you don't even necessarily have to be in person.
Right. Virtual concerts?
To have that live experience.
Yeah.
Virtual concerts have become huge.
I mean, especially the pandemic.
Totally changed.
The pandemic forced everyone to rethink,
to innovate,
how to experience.
Like, how do we still
live music
connect over this
can't
physically divide? You know?
So
interesting.
And it's cool because now it's like you've opened up.
It's opened up
so many
all new
world of possibilities.
Like you can have
people from all over the world
in your bedroom
at your virtual concert
making music.
That's so cool.
And have people
with amazing
from all over the world watching you
that would never
experiencing it,
be able to see you otherwise
together. It's incredible
technology.
It is. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah,
they even touched on that.
It's a whole new world.
It is.
It really is.
So we've got these live shows. We're connecting with people.
Okay, so you've had your live show.
Yes.
What's next?
It can't just end there.
Okay.
What do?
You've got all these people
after
amped up on your music.
The concert.
What's next?
How do you stay in touch with those people?
Because you don't want to just be like, all right, see you next time.
Exactly. It's like what happens at the concert.
Yeah.
It doesn't stay at the concert.
Right. You want to keep that
connection going.
Yes.
The momentum.
How do we keep the momentum going?
Okay, I like it.
Because this is key.
So important.
And that's where our final step comes in.
All right, let's hear it.
Email marketing.
Email marketing.
Now I know what you're thinking.
What?
Email.
That's so 2005.
Really?
Yeah.
In the age of
TikTok.
Social media.
Instagram.
Right. Why email?
Why? Tell me why.
Why is it so important for musicians specifically?
Well, I think, especially nowadays with social media, it's so hard to
reach people.
You're
at the mercy of the algorithm.
Totally.
Which we talked about.
Yeah.
It can be really frustrating.
Very frustrating.
But with email,
you
are talking directly to the people who have said.
The people who want it.
I want to hear from you.
Yes, exactly.
I am interested in what you have to say.
Yes.
So it's like...
That's powerful.
Incredibly valuable.
Very powerful.
And I feel like people don't think about that as much these days.
People are so focused on...
follower count.
Social media is so...
makes all that.
In our face all the time.
It's true. It's true.
That we forget about this, like...
the simple things, older form of...
connection.
It is.
Which is email.
It's like sending a letter.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like you're writing
to your friends. It is. Okay, so you've convinced me that email is important.
Okay.
How do we actually convince people?
Yeah, how do you get people on your email list?
Their email address.
Yeah, because nobody wants more spam.
Because our inboxes are already...
it's already overwhelming.
Overwhelmed, as it is.
It's true.
So they actually give some good advice for this, too.
Okay.
Which I thought was really smart.
What is it?
They're like, don't just be like...
don't just put a little...
sign up button.
Give me your email address.
And hope for the best.
Right. Like, what am I going to get?
Yeah, what's in it for me?
If I give you my email address.
Right, exactly.
Or they're like, offer something valuable in exchange
like what?
for their email address.
Yeah.
So it could be an exclusive track that only people on your email list get.
I like that.
It could be early access to tickets.
Oh, early access. Very nice.
For your shows. It could be like behind the scenes.
I like it.
Content.
Yeah.
That you're only sharing.
Exclusive. VIP.
It's like that VIP experience.
Yes.
That makes people feel special.
It makes people feel special.
It's for being a part of your email list.
Exactly. It's like a community.
And this is the key.
Yes.
You've got to actually email them.
I was going to say.
Regularly.
What do you do with these emails?
You can't just...
You can't let them sit there.
Collect digital dust. You actually have to nurture.
Nurture.
Okay.
Those relationships.
What does that look like, nurturing?
So it's about being consistent.
Okay.
Sending out regular emails.
How often are we talking?
It could be...
Once a week? Once a month?
Once a week.
Okay.
Once a month.
Yeah.
It depends on...
Depends on you. Depends on
how often
you're the artist.
You're releasing music?
Yeah.
How often you're playing shows?
Right. If you're...
touring all the time?
All that stuff.
Yeah, you might have more to share.
You don't want to overwhelm people.
Right. You don't want to overdo it.
But you also don't want to be a stranger.
Yeah. Guess they top of mind.
So you're sharing
okay.
news about new music,
yeah,
upcoming shows.
Of that.
Maybe just personal reflections.
Okay.
On your creative journey.
So it could be personal too.
It can be.
Okay.
Like whatever feels...
Keep it real.
Authentic.
And keeps that connection
I didn't like it.
With your fans strong.
Building those relationships. Exactly.
Cool. So
we've covered a lot.
We have covered so much about building a fan base from scratch.
From the ground up.
From the ground up.
Yes.
So as we're kind of wrapping up this deep dive.
Yeah.
What's the one big...
I'm standing out.
Takeaway.
Yeah.
That's really resonated with you.
Yeah.
What's the one big takeaway that's really resonated with you?
Honestly, I think for me, it's just that reminder that it is a marathon, not a sprint. Yeah. You're not going to build a massive fan base overnight.
Yes. You've got to be in it for the...
It's about consistency.
Long haul.
Showing up consistently.
Putting in the work.
Yeah. Nurturing those relationships.
It's about those connections.
Because at the end of the day, I think that's what people really crave.
It is.
Is that connection.
Yes. And it's so easy to get caught up in the numbers game.
Oh, totally.
Especially with social media.
Days and followers.
But at the end of the day, it's not about...
It's about the numbers. It's about the people.
Yes. And the people who connect with the music.
Exactly. And I think that's what's so cool about this article. It really brings it back to...
Back to the heart of it.
The human element.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's not just a bunch of
It's not just data.
Ones and zeros,
Exactly. These are real people.
Real people with...
And real emotions.
Hearts and souls and...
And your music is touching them in some way. And that's really special.
It is special. It's a gift.
So if anyone's listening to this, and they're feeling inspired to go out and...
Build their own fan base.
Build their own community.
Yes. What's that first step?
What is that first step? What advice would you give them?
I would say, what's one thing from this whole conversation that really resonated with you?
Yes.
And just focus on that.
Yes.
What's the one thing?
Pick one thing.
You could do.
And do it really well.
To start.
Yes. I love that.
You know what I mean?
Don't try to do everything at once.
Don't overwhelm yourself.
Because it can feel overwhelming.
It can be a lot.
To think about all 6 of these steps at once.
Yeah.
So just pick your favorite.
Exactly.
And start there.
Start small.
Start small.
Be consistent.
And be consistent.
And I think you'll be amazed at what you can achieve.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, this has been such a great...
This was fun.
Deep dive.
I love talking about this stuff.
Me too.
So interesting.
And you know what? This is just the beginning of the conversation.
Yes. Keep it going.
Let us know.
Let's hear from you.
What resonated with you from this deep dive?
Yes. What are your biggest takeaways?
What are your questions?
Yes.
Hit us up on social media.
We want to hear from you.
We would love to.
Let's keep this conversation going.
Keep this conversation going.
Yes.
All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for listening, everybody.